Hey, what's up guys, it's Awesome here from Mutation Creation, and in today's Showcase Saturday, we're going to be highlighting the pied gene. So this is just a normal pied ball python. You guys can see they have patches of pattern, but overall pretty much a white snake. Sometimes you can get ones with a lot of white, sometimes you can get ones with no white. Let's go and highlight a couple more combo pieds. So right here we have a yellow belly malum pied, and yellow belly inside of the pied gives you all this pixelation and this orange color around the saddles. But then we also have the malum gene in here, which kind of works like Enchi. You can see we have somewhat of an Enchi pied head over there with the wide eye bands connecting at the top of the head, and it also brings back a little bit more pattern into the pied. Except, unlike the Enchi, it doesn't bring in brighter colors, it actually darkens it up a little bit, and you can really see that inside of the dorsal. Especially over here, we have some really nice dark tones, and the overall color of the snake is a little bit darker than an average yellow belly pied. Here is a yellow belly pied, and as you guys can see, all the pixelation around the saddles, that's what the yellow belly does, as well as bringing these really nice orange colors. They're sometimes called pumpkin pieds because of the nice oranges it brings in, but this is a really good building block for a lot of pied combos. So right here we have a pastel yellow belly pied, and once again we're getting that nice pixelation from the yellow belly, and the pastel is just taking the colors and making it that much brighter. Usually with pastel you get these really nice gray tones and light yellows, but with the yellow belly it really amplifies the oranges that you're seeing on the sides there. Doesn't do too much to the head of the pieds. Pastel by itself usually can brighten it up, but super pastel or pastel fires, pastel orange dreams really tend to change the head pattern. But overall, this is a really nice snake. And if you guys look, we have a lot of pixelation on the outside of the saddles, but even on the inside of the saddles, and that's just from the yellow belly once again. There's just so many ways to go and take this snake. My favorite pastel yellow belly pied combo so far is the pastel freeway pied. We actually don't have one to show you guys today. Billy sold it, but we do have some other freeway pied combos to show you later in the video. This right here is a yellow belly pied that's 50% het for monsoon, and you can see the overall tone of the snake is very dark, even darker than that malum yellow belly pied, and that's because we noticed that the het monsoon pieds tend to be a lot darker, and they also change the pattern a little bit, whether it's giving a little bit of speckling along the sides or totally whacking out the tail like what you're seeing here. Hopefully this one can prove out. We're holding it back because we think it can. Here we have a leopard pied that is also 50% het for monsoon. You can see a little bit of a wacky pattern. We're seeing some really dark colors once again. Leopard inside a pied tends to go and bring some pattern along the sides and really break up that dorsal stripe. Sometimes you can get a solid stripe in the pieds, but with the leopard it always breaks it up and then continues the pattern along the sides like you're seeing here. This one is a little bit wackier because once again it is 50% het monsoon, and we're really hoping this one can prove out as well. Here we have a special pied possible leopard, 66% het for monsoon, and I really like how the special pieds leave a mostly white snake with a really nice pattern on the head. Almost looks like he's wearing a mask. And then in my other hand right over here we have a special pied possible yellow belly, and the reason I'm thinking it's a yellow belly is if you look at that head pattern, it's not much to work with, but we do have some jagged lines on the outside of the pattern, just like the yellow belly likes to bring in, like I said a little bit earlier. Both really cool snakes, and both we hope we can prove for het monsoon. Here we have a het red Xanthic leopard pied, and the het red Xanthic pieds tend to be very high white, just like the specials. As you can see, there's only like 1 or 2 saddles on this guy. It's pretty much an almost all white pied. And the leopard, sometimes you can't see it inside of the pattern. We're getting a little bit of leopard pattern in the tail, but often I find the leopards have a head drag. You see how they have that connection at the back of the head with the eye stripes? And we have that little bit of black line going into it. A lot of leopard pieds like to do that. And inside of my other hand, right over here, we have a special het red Xanthic pied, possible yellow belly. We're not too sure. Once again, the het red Xanthic pied likes to hide a lot of stuff, and so does the special, but I really like how they work together to give you a brighter snake, a lot brighter than just a special pied, and a lot brighter than just the het red Xanthic pied. Here we have a super pastel leopard pied, or this could even be a pastel fire leopard pied. It's a little bit hard to tell. Super pastel usually tend to have a little bit more pattern, and the fires tend to take away pattern, but the head is not screaming fire towards us, so we're not sure until we can prove this girl out. And she's also 100% het for clown, so really cool to get into the clown pied project. We have some white patches coming into the saddles, as you can see on the side, and once again with the leopard we're having that little drag of the black pattern into the dorsal stripe at the neck, just behind the head. So really cool. Hopefully we can work this into the clown pied projects. Leopard clown pies look amazing, and it'd be really nice to get the pastel in there as well. Sticking with the leopards, this is a banana leopard yellow belly pied, and right away you can notice that it doesn't have that black line right behind the head going into the dorsal, but it does have the pattern along the sides and the breaking of the dorsal pattern. So that's how we're able to identify leopard inside of this one. And then of course the yellow belly with all the really jagged pattern along the sides. And sometimes inside of banana, as you can see here, it's more of a gray faded color, and in other spots you got really nice oranges. You have really nice oranges for the pixelation. It's a lot of polymorphism inside of the pies, especially when you add banana in there, because banana can have so many different colors. This guy is actually going into shed right now. This is a banana Java pied, and I really like that nice dot it has right on the snout of its head. But Java is one of those genes that can bring in a lot of dark tones into your snakes, and when you have banana, that translates into these really nice oranges, and even some of these really nice purples you're seeing in here. When she's out of shed, she can really glow, and those oranges pop a lot. Too bad she's in shed for this video. Maybe we can include a picture of her not shedding. We'll have to go and find one. But Java is a really great combo. I love to see some banana super Java pies and make the oranges pop that much more. This one right here is a banana orange dream yellow belly pied, and orange dream and yellow belly work really well into pie to bring on these really nice orange colors. But when you have banana in there, it kind of washes it out just a little bit. Still gives you really nice oranges, just a little bit of a different color palette. And if you look at the saddles once again, you can see all the jagged pattern from the yellow belly. And orange dream really likes to clean up the pies, and this first saddle right here is just very clean, as you can see. Even the black one as well compared to a normal banana yellow belly pied. But in my opinion, I like it a little bit better without the banana. So we don't just have an orange dream yellow belly pied. Here is a super orange dream yellow belly pied, and I really like what super orange dream does to the head stamp. It really makes it stand out compared to the black pattern on the head. And then of course the super orange dream works really well at bringing in the orange tones, and with the yellow belly it does that much better. And we still have that pixelation around the saddles, and I just really like the tones on that first saddle. If you were to get something like fire in here, it'd make it really stand out and pop that much more. This is an orange dream Enchi yellow belly pied, so taking away one of those orange dreams in the super orange dream yellow belly pied and then adding Enchi really changed the whole look of the snake. I like all the orange tones inside. And once again, Enchi's one of those genes that brings a lot of pattern back into the pies and gives you those wide eye stripes, and they usually connect at the back of the head. And then of course with the yellow belly, you're getting those jagged patterns along the sides, and then orange dream just making the whole snake look that much brighter. Once again, orange dream and yellow belly work really well together inside of the pied. I think the next step for this would be either getting another dose of orange dream in here or even adding fire. Going back to the super orange dream yellow belly pied, this is a super orange dream asphalt / yellow belly pied. Asphalt and yellow belly pies look very similar, and it's almost impossible to distinguish them. And of course with polymorphism it makes it even harder. But once again, you have that super orange dream head stamp where it's really nice and orange in the middle compared to the black contrast of the head pattern. The really bright oranges in the pattern come from the super orange dream mixed with the asphalt or yellow belly, and of course you have that asphalt and yellow belly pixelation along the whole sides. Here we have an Enchi asphalt pied, and we know this one is asphalt because there was no yellow belly inside of the pairing. And you can see that once again, Enchi's bringing in all the pattern. It kind of even changes the look of the pattern on the dorsal. And then of course we have the asphalt bringing in all the jagged pattern and even some more orange colors compared to just an Enchi pied. And I even like how the snake has a kind of caramel tone to it. Can't wait to get this into the freeway pie project and then even the super asphalt pie project. Here we have an adult freeway pied female, and this is actually one of the first ones that we made here at Mutation Creation, and when this thing hatched it was very orange. The colors have since lulled out a little bit into adulthood, which happens on a lot of the pies, but you can still see some of those rich orange colors inside of the dorsal, and just the overall pattern, you still have that freeway stripe coming down the whole snake. And it kind of gives you that Enchi look on the head, even though there's no Enchi inside of the pairing of this snake. You got a little bit of wider eye bands, and they're connecting at the back of the head. We were lucky enough to hit an Enchi freeway pied combo, and we're going to show you that next. So this girl's not cooperating at all, that's why I'm holding her a little bit weird, but this is a Pastel Enchi freeway pied, and right away if you look at the head, we have that Pastel Enchi butterfly head stamp right up here. And that's really typical in a lot of Pastel Enchi combos, not even in the pied. Inside of the clown you're not going to get that, but in pieds it does happen sometimes it doesn't. And then of course we have that nice freeway stripe going down the whole back. And one thing that we noticed with the freeway pieds is the pixelation around the saddles is really amplified. You have a lot more drastic pixelation, a lot more pattern dropping down into the belly, and just an overall really cool snake. And we also noticed that the oranges get turned up a lot. The yellow belly pieds and asphalt pieds tend to bring in more oranges, and when you put the asphalt and yellow belly together, it really takes it to the next level. Here we have an Enchi Creed pied, 100% het for ultramo, and the Creed is another line of fire, except we notice inside of the pieds it doesn't take away as much pattern as the fire does, and it tends to brighten it up a little bit better. And then of course we have the Enchi giving you those wide eye stripes again, the pattern connecting at the back of the head, and then this overall wacky pattern throughout the snake. And the Creed is just coming in and giving you all these really nice light tones. We even have some really nice oranges around the saddles, and that could be from the het ultramo influence. We're noticing het ultramo really affects the way pieds look, and even most het combos. So really nice oranges. If you have your own Enchi Creed pied, it might not be as orange as this one, but Creed is definitely a gene to get into your pieds. So another one deep inside a shed, sorry guys, but this is an Orange Dream Creed pied, and you can see how well the Creed and the Orange Dream work together. Even in shed you have these really nice intense oranges coming through. You lose that pixelation like you have with the yellow belly Orange Dream pieds, but you get this really nice creamy color, especially in the head. It's not showing up as nice as I like it to. When it's out of shed you can really see how creamy it is, especially with the head stamp and the eye stripes. But overall, a really nice snake, and once again, Creed is something definitely to get into the pieds or fire, because when you have Orange Dream in there, Orange Dream and fire just make the snakes pop that much more. It kind of looks like Desert Ghost together, but not as bright. And when you get the super Orange Dream fire combos, they really pop similar to Desert Ghosts. And the last Creed pied combo we're going to show you is this Pastel Orange Dream Creed pied, and this thing just looks amazing. The Pastel and Creed work really well together, just like Firefly does, to brighten things up. But once again, Creed does not take away pattern inside of the pieds like the fire does, and it works really good with the Enchi, as you can tell. You have those wide eye bands and connecting at the back of the head, as well as the typical Enchi pied pattern on the back. It doesn't look like you have the normal dorsal stripes. It's kind of whacked out and banding over like the Enchi likes to do. And then of course you have the Creed and the Pastel in here, changing the colors. Creed making it a lot creamier, and the Pastel brightening it up. Here we have an adult OD Enchi pied, and this thing is looking pretty good, but not as nice as it was when it was a baby. Once again, pieds tend to go and dull out a little bit as they get older, and this one's actually starting to go into shed, so her colors are even that much more dull. You have the really nice Enchi eye stripes that are wider, connecting at the back of the head, the pattern banding over inside of the dorsal. You're not left with that typical pied dorsal stripe. And then of course the Orange Dream coming around the edge of the pattern, just making it that much brighter. You have no blacks around the ends. And another thing about Enchi pieds, we don't have a normal Enchi pied here, but if you're wondering if you have a high pattern pied or an Enchi pied, it's always safe to look around the edge of the borders. They'll be orange and not black. They might have a little bit of specklings of black, but not as orange as the Orange Dream Enchis. So that's just a tip if you're making some Enchi pieds and you can't tell if it's an Enchi pied or just a high pattern pied. Here we have a cinnamon pied, 100% het for enhancer, and the cinnamon pieds, just like the special pieds, black pastel pieds, and het ready Xanthic pieds, tend to be very high white with usually just head pattern like you're seeing here. Cinnamon and black pastels usually give you a really dark head on the snake, and sometimes you can get these really nice black speckling, almost like a cow on the back of it, that make the snake look really cool. And if we take it one step further, we're actually lucky enough to go and hit this cinnamon Enchi pied, 100% het for enhancer, and we're still getting those black spots on the back like you do with the black pastel and cinnamon pieds, but this time we have Enchi in there, which is just making the eye stripes that much more wider. And the cool thing about this is that this is an allelic animal, so if we were to breed this, we can never make a normal. Everything's either going to be a cinnamon pied or an Enchi pied if we were to breed this to a pied, or cinnamon or Enchi het pied. And you can also notice that oh, almost took a bite there. You can also notice that the Enchi did lighten up the pattern a little bit, made that head brighter, the eye stripe stand up a little bit more, and also that dorsal stripe. But the black pastel and cinnamon usually does take away a lot of the pattern inside of the pieds, even when Enchi is present. We're not too sure about super Enchi pieds, but that's something we're working towards in the future. Here we have a pastel Dreamsicle. We don't have a normal Dreamsicle to show you, they're all in the breeding room. We will come back and visit Clown like we did for the first video, and Pied for this video in the adult room. I'm thinking to go and show the difference between the hatchlings and the adults, even though some of the ones in here are almost adult size, just like this girl. But as you see, Dreamsicles tend to be really nice. It's a lavender pied, and it takes away all those dark colors and leaves you with the albino tones. And then when you add Pastel into it, you can see these really nice highlighter colors in the dorsal and even in the head, which are a little bit more apparent as a baby, but they still look really good into adulthood. If we take that last Pastel Dreamsicle and add Enchi into it, we're left with this Pastel Enchi Dreamsicle, and it didn't work out quite like I thought it would. We lose a lot of those highlighter colors, but we do get these really nice intense oranges and pinks from the Enchi, and when you make them without the pastel inside of it, the Enchi really amplifies that much more, and all the oranges and pinks you can see a lot better. But nonetheless, you see Enchi really brought back a lot of the pattern inside of the Dreamsicles. I prefer high pattern pieds. A lot of other people prefer high white pieds. Comment down below which one you like better. Right here we have a lightning pied, also known as a MJ Xanthic pied, and you can kind of get something similar to this with other lines of Xanthic like the VPI, TSK, or Jolif line, but none of them are going to be as dark as this into adulthood. We notice that VPI, TSK, and Jolif tend to brown out a lot more than the MJ Xanthic pieds. The MJ Xanthic pieds were started by Mark Mandic from Marcus Jane a couple years ago, and they're still a very popular looking snake. This year we're going to get Orange Dream into them, Enchi, Yellow Belly, and Pastel. Take the snake to the next level. At the end of the videos, I like to give you guys a snake to guess on, and this is going to be the one for today. It's a really dark pied. You guys are going to have trouble guessing what this is for sure. A lot of the pattern is not there, and I even had a hard time guessing what this was at first. So comment down below what you guys think this pied is. So before the end of the video, I just ran over to the breeder side to go grab this girl. This is an enhancer pied. An enhancer is very similar to the Desert Ghost and actually allelic with it, except it's a little bit brighter and doesn't hold the black colors as much. It usually has more yellow tones, and this thing looks insane. I just can't wait to go and get some more combos into this, like Yellow Belly, Orange Dream, Fire, and Enchi. I think that enhancer pieds and Desert Ghost pieds are really cool for the future, and it's a little bit different than the Desert Ghost clowns that everyone seems to be making right now. So definitely keep an eye out for more enhancer pieds from us. We actually have a super pastel pied, 100% het enhancer, gravid right now, and I believe she was paired to a cinnamon leopard enhancer het pied. So hopefully we can hit some combo enhancer pieds, and stay tuned for that in the future. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this week's Showcase Saturday with the pieds. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. I think it's going to be an ultramo video, but enhancer or Desert Ghost video could be coming up too. Put it down in the comments what you guys want to see, and that's going to be it. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.